Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we're back for some more fights. Okay, let's keep exploring this system. I see you've already picked your actions, AJ. Yeah, I'm just gonna pick some actions for this guy. This person he's a spear, you got a staff, you're at the same, you're evenly matched. However, he's swifter than you are, so he is going to, see for your first, he is going to do this. And then he is going to do this, and then this.
Fuck shit.
And finally, he is going to do this. Yeah. Okay. So, reveal the first card.
Blech.
Oh!
Cool. So, you strike,
He's gonna start playing a video game, okay.
you strike, but he counter strikes. Let's see how that turns out. So, a counter
He pulls
strike.
out an AK-47 and kills.
Yeah, exactly. The bomb has been planted.
I think it could be so funny if the first one just said flee and he tries to counter-strike me.
Alright, let's see.
Well, I guess that didn't work.
Counter-striking, test your weapon, brawling, boxing skill after the actions are revealed. But before your opponent rolls. Okay, so he needs to roll before you do. He splits his pool into two. One for defending against your strike and one for attacking. Okay. So I'm gonna roll first. He has a pool of 5 dice to work with. He is going to split them into 3 for defense and 2 for attack. So let's roll this. Actually, I need to quickly do away with the... I'm using the same character sheet. I need to do away with the wound penalty, or he's gonna roll with 4 dice less. So yeah. Just remember that one of these guys is down with a traumatic wound and is going to die. Unless he is immediately...
He's not already dead?
Now he is... The guy you hit is not immediately dead. He is just very much out and bleeding to death immediately. The person the lightning rebounded to exploded and is dead.
And it was someone important.
I'm like quietly asking myself if I'm being a pussy by not just having it bounce back and hit you when you roll the 6. But I know we'll find out. We have plenty of time for that lightning to dance all over the battlefield.
Yay!
I would be okay with either.
All right. So first action is I said 3, right? So we change this to 3. We just roll that. That's his defense. Then we roll this. This is his attack. Okay. And that includes him, he's forking his brawling. So, let's see. He defends with 2 and strikes with 1. Okay, AJ, roll your strike. That is, what skill are you using to... You're using your staff to strike him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you have the staff skill yet, or do you still just use your agility?
It's still being learned.
Okay, so in that case, you need to roll agility. Every 2 successes you get counts as 1, because you're fighting with a stat versus a skill.
Great.
If you have something you want to fork, you could argue it with me now. Like, you have some fictional
I have
position?
no clue, Daniel.
Okay. In that case, just roll your agility.
In other words, he's not gonna get anything.
Oh, there's a hit there. Okay, so you get a hit. He defends against it. So you wind up, you strike him, and his spear, like he catches your staff with your spear, pushes it out of the way and leans in and strikes back with a lunge. He strikes you. You take a B3 wound. Where do you want to take the wound?
In the dick.
B3 there.
Yeah.
was about to say, that's about the worst place you could have a wound.
So I'm assuming you don't have any armor, so it's not really consequential where you get struck?
Mm-mm.
Okay. And then his second here is he starts winding up for a great strike. And
Kill him.
that's reveal for the second volley. Unsurprisingly, his action here is to finish the great strike. What's yours? To strike. Okay, let's resolve those then. So you roll your agility again. To try and
We
beat
had
him.
taken fucking skill.
You're really strong, but you're just not. You're not a fighting man. You're a lovable, cuddly bear.
A fuckable healer.
Let's see, great.
It's not a lovable bear. Only if you're pretty.
Alright, so the first action, you take a breath to set up your attack when you're great striking. Effectively defenseless, you counter strength and drool and hesitating. Also, while any weapon can perform a great strike, you must be able to put 2 hands on the weapon. Yeah, sure. Okay, it's lunging, thrust, and overhand strike. On the second action, it acts like a strike, but with 2 exceptions. It bypasses the block action, and it grants a bonus to damage or armor penetration. Choose before you roll. So he's gonna upgrade his damage because you don't have armor. So yeah, you roll 2 successes, right? So you got a hit. So you hit him. We'll see about that. What that does after he strikes you. You hit each other simultaneously. So see about.
For a brief second, I heard that as you hate each other simultaneously.
That too.
Okay, so okay, just roll it. See if he hits anything. He does.
Ow.
Yeah, he definitely hits. Okay, so there's +1 to the weapon's damage, and he is. What's his normal damage on this attack? He's trying to take you down, right? He's not trying to kill you. So he is gonna strike you. He's gonna upgrade his hit from an incidental to a mark hit. That spends 2 of those successes. He is going to, and that's it. And then he's using a great strike for damage, so it's upgraded from a B5 to. So you take a B6 wound. Where do you take this wound?
The dick.
No idea.
Pick an area. Do you take it in the head, in one of the arms, or the torso, or one of the legs?
Arm.
Okay, which arm? Just
I don't
for
care.
reference. Just pick
I
one. then.
don't care. God damn it.
Yeah, sure. Then pick one if you don't care.
Left.
Okay. So, you strike him. What is your incidental damage? Your if you go down and check your staff on your combat page, what is the B number in the I section?
4.
4. Okay, so he takes a significant hit as the brawny muscles of Minnow starts showing what they're all about. So he takes a terrifying whack. How do you hit him? Where does he get hit?
Is it a overhand slash he does with his spear or whatever?
Is like he steps forward, like take 2 quick steps forward and raises his spear over his head and jams it down. You move out of the way, but your arm gets significantly winged.
No, I think the reason he get wings is because the second he steps forward, I just jab it into his gut.
All right, so yeah, definitely, that's perfect. So
Slam!
you're stepping into the strike, and that's why like it hits you on the arm instead. So you wing him hard in the gut, like take some air out of him. What's a B6 wound for you? How significant is that?
Light.
It's a light wound.
It's
so,
the first light.
Okay, so
I have LELI, then MS,
cool.
then traumatic.
Cool. So when you take a wound that subtracts a die from your abilities, which a light wound does, right? You now have 1 wound die. You need to make a steel test because this hurts like a fucker. So
Okay.
make me a steel test.
Yeah, stop hopping around in my pages. Whoever is doing that.
My apologies, that was me.
What's the obstacle?
The obstacle is sorry, there is no obstacle. Just roll it versus obstacle 1.
I rolled it.
Okay. There we are. So we're looking at 2. Okay, so you rolled 2 successes. You have a trait doing something here. What does cool-headed do? Does it
Retract 1 from hesitation.
Yeah, but is it versus pain too, or is it just versus fear?
I don't know. You gave it to me.
Try and check on your page, see if it says there. I'll look in the book meanwhile.
Taking this card turned out to be a bit of a hassle.
Yeah, I mean this would have been over pretty fast, but we're apparently fighting for a belief here. That's why I asked you. So now we're testing out the system.
I mean, you can't really tell me I didn't create a little bit of fear and panic.
A little bit, you say? No,
Surprise and fear. That's all I've noted down.
Okay, surprise and fear. So yeah, it doesn't work with that. Okay, so you roll 2 successes. Your obstacle is what's your hesitation? Your hesitation is 4. So for 2 actions, you get winged. You have some kind of reaction. You hesitate for 2 actions. What do you do for those 2 actions? Do you stand and drool? Do you run screaming? Do you beg for mercy, or do you swoon?
What? That's a really weird reaction to getting winged.
Yeah.
Oh my! Oh.
All of them.
Well, essentially,
I mean-
what happens is you get stabbed and so significantly injured that for a moment, like your baser instincts take over, and it's a matter of fight or flight, whereas you come up short. So you're in a situation where you stand and drool, which is essentially like you clutch your wound. And you see stars and you can't really respond to anything. You're just so obsessed with just clutching your wounded arm, with running screaming, which is dropping your weapon and legging it, which could also be a response, to falling prone and begging for mercy, which is also of course a natural response, like, no, please don't do that, no, it hurts so bad, please don't. Or swoon, which is fainting from the pain.
He's probably just clutching his arm.
Okay,
It's
so
harder than he thought it would.
that makes sense. So stand and drool then. You
Probably a long end of curse where it's following it.
yeah. So reveal your last card. Although now that card is stand and drool instead of whatever it would have been. So strike, yeah. So you stand and drool now, and you also stand and drool at the top of the next exchange because you hesitate for 2 actions. But he's trying to avoid you, but as he pulls back and is like, whoa, and in anticipation of the strike that is not coming, he's like, oh wait, I actually hit you. Okay, good. And then he moves into strike again.
Shouldn't he make a steel test too with the slap I gave him?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't take a wound die. He has an obstacle penalty, but he's. It wasn't so hard that he gets his knockers rocked. So we'll take that on top of the round just after this one. We'll just go to Nikki real quickly. See how that turns out. So, Nikki, what's your
Yes.
reflexes?
Dead.
Your reflexes are dead. Okay.
My reflexes are. Where's the thing? 4.
Okay, so you have 4 actions. Do you want to take 2-1-1, 1-2-1, or 1-1-2?
To be honest, I'm not really sure the significance of any of those.
Essentially, if you choose to take more actions earlier, that could affect what happens later, right? So you choose to take 2 actions at the start. Maybe you make a significant change to the fight for the rest of the volley, or maybe you decide like in the middle you want to do something significant. Maybe you have a play you want to make. It's just a matter of when do you want to make the extra effort.
Spell you want to finish,
What?
or a spell you want to finish.
Don't have those. 2-1-1.
Okay. Did you want to get out of there, I should ask?
Yes.
Okay, so as far as I'm able to see here, if an opponent improves too much for you, you can use the disengage maneuver to pull back and get some distance. To do that, you test speed with a 1 die advantage plus advantages from stride and the positioning advantage and disadvantage table. You must win the test, not tie. If you are successful, okay, so that you can do that when you vie for position. Okay, so right now as you're clashing, you can't escape. You can only try to avoid him, and then at the top of the next round, you can attempt to escape and flee the battle. But you can't escape before the battle is joined. You elect to engage in it. So, okay, so
abort mission.
abort, get out. Yeah, okay, so let's have a look at what's up with you. You do you want to take 2 actions and then 1 action and 1 action, or how do you want to place your actions?
Well, I thought I just said
You did. I probably didn't hear it.
2-1-1.
Cool. Okay, so pick 2 cards and place in the first box, and then 1 in each of the other boxes. If you have any questions about what the different cards do, you may ask.
How do I move these?
You just drag them. So you hold your mouse over the cards. There is some options that open. You pick choose, and that opens a window of all the cards, and then you can just drag the one you want out onto the field.
Okay, and then put 1 in each of these 2.
Yeah. Did you random those cards, or did you open the choose? Go on.
I just clicked them and dragged them.
Okay, cool. But you did read what you picked, right?
What? No, I just clicked and dragged.
Okay, I'm sorry. In that case, we're doing this wrong. Let me help you. So, if hold your mouse over the cards for a moment, like the big card bundle, and it should say fight, deal, choose, recall, shuffle, hide.
It just says fight, choose, draw.
Okay, good. Pick choose, click choose, and it should open a giant window of all the cards.
Yes, I see.
And then you pick from those cards what you want to do.
Right. Okay.
I'm just gonna remove these cards in the meantime.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm completely.
That was fine.
Brain
You
dead.
sound knackered.
I am.
Really do. You should stop doing hard physical labor.
No, I can't. Yeah, I should explain to listeners what's happened is that I've been helping do some construction work today. Essentially, I've been decking a garden, so my muscles are screaming at me to go to bed. But I'm here doing this, and that's not a complaint. I am enjoying this, despite the fact that I sound like I'm probably just a zombie. Okay. Let's see.
You know what you should do? You should hire a zombie to do all the hard physical work.
So if I place this as it is, it won't appear face up, will it?
No, it'll appear face down.
Okay.
It will eat your face.
And then how do I... Where's the one I'm looking for to get out? There isn't one. Oh, run screaming.
You could run screaming, but running screaming is not going to help you that much. Now, what you would want to do is, if you just want to get out of here, you want to like script defensive actions until you can come onto the top of the round, then you can try to disengage.
Okay, so first one I'm going to place there. Second one I'm going to do is... I don't know. I don't know what else I can do with him, really.
You can kill
Does it
some.
just be a card saying run?
You're in a pretty rough spot, right? Because you're fighting against a guy who has the better advantage on you, and you have a knife, whereas he has a spear. That's
What does
really
feint...
the crux of your issue right now.
Yeah. I wonder if I could do a feint.
Good try. A feint will. A feint, I believe, it gets around defensive action. So if he takes a defensive action and you feint, you just completely ignore his defensive action, stab him.
Right, no, he's not going to be doing anything defensive. He's got all the advantages. Defensive action. There isn't one just called defensive action on here.
There's a block and an avoid.
Yeah.
You would
I would-
also you could change stance. If you do that, you could change into what's called defensive stance, which gives you more dice for avoiding stuff.
Yeah, I can try that.
Does that work if you then start casting?
Yeah, but if you casting, you're not avoiding, for example. So
And I need to put ones in the other slots as well in each of these two.
right, so this card here is
Yep.
yours, right? And so is this one.
Right, I don't think I've selected those ones, but
Oh, then remove those and pick the ones you want and drop them in.
how do I remove them?
I'll just do that for you. There you go.
Yes, because I only picked out the two that were in the first slot. And
I want better reflexes.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that I had the best reflexes.
okay,
Alright, let's reveal the first card. You right
Sure.
click the first card and you click flip card. Cool. So he rolls to strike and you roll to avoid.
yep.
Let's check. When you avoid, successes from the avoid action reduces the effectiveness of the opposing action. If you roll one success on an avoid and your opponent rolls 2, you have reduced his effective total to 1. If you roll 2 and he rolls 2, you've stopped his attack altogether. Avoid defense against all incoming attacks, basic and special actions. Test once, let avoid success is right for the action. Avoid is special, it never suffers double obstacle penalty for being unskilled. It does not protect against shooting, throwing, or magical actions. Okay. So roll your what do you roll? You avoid, you test your speed. So roll your speed. Every success you get over 5 because over 4 because you have an obstacle penalty of 4. Every success you get over 4 subtracts 1 from his strike.
Okay, can I fork in agility?
You can't afford agility, no.
Or reflexes?
No.
That's just shitty.
You can't fork into stats.
No modifiers of any kind, I assume?
I don't know. Do you have is there some fictional positioning you can exploit here? How would you avoid him better?
Not to be where the pointy bit is.
That is the crux of trying to avoid to begin with.
Be really good at avoiding where the pointy bit is. Okay, I'm just going to get on with this. And base obstacle 4.
Yeah. And every one you get over 4 is. I mean, we could also just have said base obstacle 1. It would still be just counting successes.
Yeah, well, there's no way. Yeah. Okay. I failed. Let's get this over with, please.
Okay. In that case, he's just gonna roll like so.
Huh.
Ah,
All right.
interesting.
So yeah, so in this case, unfortunately, his this means he does hit you.
Yeah.
His obstacle of 2 is because he's I'm using the same character sheet for all of them, and this one has AJ's character's wound penalty on it, but I'll just ignore that for the moment. So he does hit you, but that's a mark hit, so you take a B3. What is a
Nice.
B3 hit for you, and where do you take it? Where does he hit you?
B3 is superficial.
Okay. So mark one of those. Now you have a wound penalty, but you don't have a wound die, so you don't need to roll steel. Where does he hit you? Does he hit you in the arm or the leg or the torso or the head?
Arm.
Okay. Which one? Just for reference.
Left arm.
Cool.
Excuse me.
Blue one.
Is fine. All right. Reveal your next card.
Okay, come on, get out of the bloody way.
All right. You change stance. What do you change into? You will have neutral stance, defensive stance, aggressive stance.
Defensive, please.
Okay. So defensive stance grants you +2 dice to avoid, block, counter strike, and strike and great strike suffer +2 obstacle penalty when performed from your stance. So you get better at avoiding, but you get shittier at attacking.
Okay.
And he is going to attempt to disarm you.
Sure he is.
Let's see if he can do that. I need to find disarm. There we are. So he uses his weapon skill. It's a difficult action to pull off, but if successful, the result is spectacular. If successful, you knock your opponent's weapon away. A successful disarm also grants you advantage for your weapon. In order to disarm someone in a versus test, you must win by a margin of success equal to his weapon skill, except in the case of disarm versus feint. Hence the plus sign of the interactions for the table. Okay, so you are changing stance. So he rolls versus yours. Okay, so this is a versus test. So I would want you to roll a. Do you have knife as a skill?
Allow me to check.
If you have knife, then roll that. If you don't, then roll agility.
No, I don't have it because it's being learned. I shall roll agility.
All right, just roll versus obstacle 1.
Wow, we are horrible fighters.
Yeah, none of you are particularly dedicated fighters, so.
Well, I at least have a weapon skill.
4 successes.
That's pretty amazing. So he's gonna fail this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So he attempts to disarm you. You get 2 successes on this, and he needs to. And he also gets 2 successes, but he needs to beat you by your margin of the margin of your skill. So in this case, he would have needed 4 successes, I think, if I'm reading this right. Which, if I'm not, then whatever. So he tries to flick the knife out of your hand, but you pull back, retract the blade to closer to your person, and keep your guard up, and he fails to disarm you.
Excellent.
And let's go for the third volley. Well, this is the second volley. Flip the second volley. You avoid, he feints. So I think, if I remember correctly, him feinting means that he moves around your avoid and strikes you. Let's see if that's the case.
You did say that feint countered defensive actions.
Yeah, I seem to think that that's what it does. Let's see if I remembered correctly. Feint is a special attack designed to defeat defense. Yeah. So it does it does damage like a strike. You were using avoid. Yeah, he just flat out hits you.
Oh, fucking shit. Okay.
Okay, let's see what the significance is if there is a dash here. I think that just means he rolls to see what happens. Dash interactions. You do not test ability for this action. However, your opponent might test depending on what his action says. So be sure to check that. I should think I would have to roll to see the weapon damage. Feint does damage like a strike. Okay, so I do have to roll.
I think DR would be pretty pissed if Nick turns out to die.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Minnow would also be, hey, you killed the food giver. Stop killing food giver. We need it.
3. Okay, so the strike hits you, and he is going to. What's he going to spend that on? He is going to. It's gonna move the hit. So where do you want to get hit? Where do you take this strike?
In the tits.
No, in the right leg.
Okay, so he moves it from your right leg to your torso and from your torso to your head. So he lunges forward and stabs at your face.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
You
That sounds really
you take like the spear blade cuts across your cheek and you get a B3 wound.
Second B3 wound.
Yeah. And
Okay.
third volley.
Yeah, Mr. Smolak. They don't seem healthy for you.
All right, so we both avoid. Cool.
So you try to run away from each other.
If this guy gets beaten down by those two, I am going to cut his fucking knackers off.
Well, let's see what happens then. So top of the
Yes.
round, we have the situation now. Shihao, you're not engaged with anyone. So what you could do now is you could move to engage one of the two people who are still up and fighting, or you could stand back and cast your spell from out of reach. But you would not be able to finish your spell in this round. You would have to cast it on this round, and then next round engage, and then you would cast it immediately. So either you can move into combat now,
about
or you
talking?
can cast from safety and then move in next round.
Is talking a free action?
Let's say it is.
In that case, I think Jihao yells to Minnow, finish up and go get the card. I'll help Mr. Smolak. And then he starts casting.
All right. Do you want to engage as you cast? That would mean you could fire your spell this round if you finish it this round, or do you cast from safety and then activate the spell next round?
Does the other one get to actually attack me if I engage this round?
If you engage this round, he has a choice if he wants to attack you or Nikki.
That came, and I can't do like three actions of casting and then use the remaining two to engage.
No.
Then cast it.
No, you could not.
I cast from the safety of range.
Okay. So you don't actually engage with him, you just stay out of range, and then you cast. That's fine. So for all we care, like you start casting. What spell are you casting?
Whitefire.
Okay. So you stand there, you chant the spell to Whitefire. Over the course of this exchange, you
don't
finish
chant.
that spell. That's right, you move your fingers to charge it. And like halfway through this exchange, you finish the spell, and then you do what is known as a coup de magie, which is you hold the spell in place, like keeping the pregnant spell waiting between your fingertips as lightning shoots back and forth. And then on the top of the next round, you can step in and let it loose.
Okay.
Yo.
I put like a cork in it. You don't get to give birth to magic yet.
Yep.
He's birthing magic. That is something I do not want to imagine.
That is what
It
your
sounds like a
character is
Lama
for.
Stew thing.
Lama Stew is best goddess.
She's also the goddess who would birth magic.
Yes. All right, AJ, let's take Minnow. What do you want to do? So the situation is that you want to keep fighting this guy?
You were told to finish up and then go get the card, by the way.
Shut up.
So,
I can't stand and rule.
Yeah. The thing is, you're gonna stand and drool if you remain engaged. But do you want to keep fighting, or would you like to opt for not fighting?
He gets angry when he's hurt.
Okay.
So yes.
Yeah, you're fighting. Good. So you have the same length of weapon, so it's the same story as before. You just engaged. No worries. Yeah. So your first card there must be stand and drool. The second two can be whatever you want.
I can't find the right one now. Why have you turned it around like this?
Yeah,
There
it got changed up during the course of this combat for some reason. I'm not sure.
There.
why. So he is going to.
Run away screaming.
Yes, that is exactly what's going to happen. No. He's going to try to. I think he's going to try to lock you. I don't know. Let's see what lock does.
He locks lips with his opponent.
He locks lips and
Yeah.
everything becomes very sexy all of a sudden.
And we're about to say he should be really careful with that kind of thing.
and suddenly they're married with children.
No, not children.
No, none of that. Please,
None of that.
mercy.
Mercy! I'm begging you for mercy. Why won't you release me?
Oh, that seems so fitting.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
begging
so
you.
he is definitely not gonna do that. That is a horrible idea. He's going to strike, I think.
That
And
sounds
still
the idea.
I still shouldn't tell you this because whatever. Okay, so he's gonna do that.
It won't change what he does the first one anyway.
And then this one is true. And then he is going to do this. And
Why are suddenly 3 cards there?
yeah, I need to put in a. This one is out with that. And what does he do on this one? He
Stands and cries.
yes, indeed. No.
Yeah, he stands and cries because Minnow won't marry him and have children.
I mean, you're in a pretty shitty situation over there, so he is going to.
He stands and cries because he realized that it was Minnow who raped him when he was 3.
Oh no! Rough. Okay. First volley.
That's a new perspective on Minnow.
Reveal.
It was just a thing, you know. You know what he's gonna do.
It
So
happened in the barn, so yeah.
I just kind of fell on him repeatedly.
So has
no,
Jalen
he's
many
not
times.
pretty enough. Then, if he had been pretty, he wouldn't have started to fight him. He just started to flirt with him.
See what we're looking at. So
But
yeah,
Daniel didn't say he was pretty, so
he
weren't.
hit you. Mark a B3 wound,
god damn it.
and his second action is the same.
Give me a second, would you?
Sure.
I kind of need to find everything.
It's fine. I'm just gonna roll his second attack.
B3. Yeah.
Oh, what are we looking? Ah, okay, so that's just a standard hit. So mark another B3. Where do you get hit with these 2 attacks?
I
that's
imagine
fine.
he taps his legs because he's kinda holding his arm.
All right.
What does it mean when all the B3s are filled out?
All right, so all your B3s are filled out. You then what you do is you take the next one. So you take a B4 and then you remove all the B3s.
Okay. Ow.
So what's a B4 wound for you? Is that bad?
Official.
It's a superficial wound. Okay, so it
Yes,
doesn't
very
increase the severity of the situation that much, but it's starting to get harder to fight because you are so hampered by your injuries. All right, second
I'm
volley.
starting to have more bruises than I have pink skin.
Indeed.
You're gonna faint, okay?
What's your
Well,
action?
yeah, he's changing stance.
Okay. Let's see what feint does versus change stance. Yeah, okay, so that's just a hit then.
Minnow, I told you to finish up and go get the card.
Or is it, I think actually I might be wrong about this.
Changing stance isn't actually defensive.
That's it, right? I'm thinking that you do not test ability for this action, however the opponent might test depending on what his action says, so be sure to check that. I mean, I guess this should mean that he's trying to feint around a defensive action that's not actually there. That is what I'm taking away from this anyway. So I think I did it wrong on the last turn. I apologize for that. Okay, so you're changing stance. What stance are you going into?
I heard about an aggressive one.
That's true. There's an aggressive stance.
I'm guessing that means it hurts more.
Yeah, you get more dice for punching people.
Yep. I did say he was getting angry. He just got 2 strikes in while he was unable to actually fight. So
Absolutely.
he's getting angry.
I approve of that. Like playing your character as it would make sense to play him. That makes.
I
makes me
imagine that he's been known for having a cool-headed, but he's also always been liking the pretty ones, like favoring them. But back in the Stormlands, he was always the one who helped defend. And when he fights, I imagine kind of a barbarian. He doesn't really care for his own safety. And the more he gets hit, the more angry he gets. The more dirty they fight, the more angry he gets.
Very
And he's
interesting.
fighting very dirty by attacking while he's not able to do anything.
Yeah, so that's really awesome. So he has like a reputation as this grumpy healer, but when you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Exactly. And he probably recognized him, and that is why he's tried to strike him down now before it starts to hurt big time.
So you get 2 more dice for strike and great strike, but you have extra obstacle on defensive actions. So let's reveal the 3rd volley.
Yeah, but I don't have 2, so he's just striking.
Right. So you strike and he avoids. So you roll your agility plus 2 dice, and he'll roll his. I think avoiding is his speed.
So modifiers are 2.
Yeah, you get 2 extra dice. So yeah, modifier 2.
Other none base obstacle 1. Roll. What? That's bad. Bad.
Yeah, so we see here you have 1 less die for
Oh,
being
that's
wounded.
because I have 2 an obstacle.
Yeah, and the obstacle goes up. So you have 1 success there. But you need to have 3 to actually hit, because you're rolling agility. So yeah, you strike at him, but you fail to land a hit. I don't have to roll for him on this one. So yeah, you try your best. You go into an offensive stance. I mean, what does that look like when Minnow tries to open up on this guy? But the wounds are holding you back.
It's pretty obvious that the second he looks up, he tries to feint because he thinks, oh, he goes into defensive. He realizes who this is because the hood falls down.
Yeah.
And you just see, if you imagine who has the best evil stare, who doesn't really look. If you imagine Severus Snape just staring you down,
okay.
This cool-headed, angry face. It's like seeing a bull that's looking at you with, you're so gonna get ground into the ground now.
Angry, muscular Alan Rickman.
No one is going to be able to see the difference in you and the gravel. That is when he tries to avoid, and that apparently helps him.
Yes, definitely. So, angry, muscular Alan Rickman tries to open up on this guy, but is hampered by his wounds.
Very, very cold stare he has when he looks at Harry. That I don't like you, and you're dead now.
Cool. All right. So
he recognizes him when the hood falls down. Like, haha, I have him. Oh fuck, it's Minnow.
all right. So top of the round then for Nikki. That's amazing. Nicholas, you're in a situation where did you want to back out of this fight as well as you were able? Because now is the time to do that.
Get me out of this madness.
Help me out of here! Alright, so you can attempt to disengage. Now, from this guy has advantage on you because he was in the superior position at the end of last round. But despite that, you still get to attempt to like dash out of the way and disengage. So
okay.
I want you to do that. I want you to make a speed test. You have a modifier of +1.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you have disadvantage? Yeah, you have disadvantage. You don't have disadvantage. Okay, so.
And what about the defensive stance thing from last time?
Defensive stance doesn't help you run away. It helps you to not die while you're failing to run away.
I can't fork into this, can I?
Do you have anything you think you could fork, or any traits you could call on? You don't have call on traits, so I don't think so, but yeah.
Traits, no, I don't have anything. In terms of skills, no, damn it, okay.
Okay,
I can't fork other stats in, can I?
No.
Okay, just a modifier of 1 then.
Yeah.
And what's the base obstacle?
You just roll 1, like obstacle 1. We count successes. All right, so 2. Now, I think what he needs to do is he needs to test his speed with advantage, and if you beat him, you retreat out of range of his attacks.
If he wins,
If you win, then that happens.
yes, yeah, but
If he wins.
If he wins, then you are engaged at disadvantage.
Oh, goody. Okay, well, let's get this over with, see what happens.
Run away! Run, Nicholas!
Yes.
Who must survive?
Well, then, I mean, that's just one of you get in and help me.
Well, actually,
There's actually one throwing white fire after the guy attacking you.
So I'm thinking if you want to disengage, I don't think he's going to contest you because you're a stranger, yeah, but you're not actually who he's interested in.
Okay.
So I think you want to disengage, you just disengage.
You sure?
Yeah, he disengaged.
Run for it.
Instead, he turns his attentions towards striking Minnow. I should have done this at the top of the round. So, you know what? Let's.
Well, it's okay. Go for Minnow.
He lets you run away. You run away, right? You disengage from him. He plants his spear in the ground and laughs at you. He mocks you.
And that's when he realizes Minnow's right behind him and he's still angry.
Yeah, and like at the end of that round, he's like, "Wait, what is that noise?" And he turns around, and Minnow is like holding lightning. No, wait, Shihao is holding lightning. So he's like, "Oh, wait, shit! I need to be in here." All right, so I did it wrong. I should have rolled for position. We should have tested for all our collective positionings before we started rolling for the volleys. So let's do that this round. So, Shihao, you have a spell ready. Do you want to engage?
I do, in fact, want to engage, yeah.
Okay, there are 2 enemies active on the field. One of them has been struck by Minnow, one of them is uninjured.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the uninjured one.
Okay.
I'm sure Minnow can handle himself.
Sure, you step in and
Minnow's
do
doing
that.
fine.
Then there's the matter of Minnow, you're engaged with this guy. Do you want to keep fighting him?
He's going down.
Okay. And then
he's
there's
not stopping before he's down.
Yeah. Then there's this guy Nikki
right.
used to fight with. The guy Nikki used to fight with steps in and attacks Shihao.
Well, I attacked him first.
Well, we'll see about that. And
Well, I have a missile weapon. Here.
Yeah, you do. But if you fail, then he's all up in your business.
If I fail, I'll probably turn into a disco ball or something.
And Nikki, you're disengaged. Do you want to remain disengaged?
I do, actually.
Okay.
Keep running. Don't look
Not
back.
running, but certainly out of the way.
Yeah, so I wanted to say you retreat into the crowd, but the crowd is gone. The crowd has been legging it.
I retreat into a wall.
Nikki, take the card.
All right, so
Yeah, Nikki,
That's a good point, actually. That's a good idea.
Shihao, test speed.
Oh, yeah, speed, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't have.
Minnow, test speed.
Oh, it's just
Actually-
like, he's not interested in me anymore.
Actually,
Perfect.
never mind. Minnow don't test speed because your weapons are still the same length. I keep forgetting that. So,
Yeah, but he can still get less than me, right?
No, if you have the same weapon length, there is no point to testing speed. Because
Do I get any bonuses for having a longer weapon range?
you have a longer weapon, you get 1 extra die. So test speed with bonus die.
Base obstacle 1.
Yeah.
3.
Two. So you have him at the same situation as before. He's at +1 obstacle because you're advantaged against him, the guy who steps in to engage you, as you step in to engage him. And Minnow, you're at the same situation as before, right? You're equally matched, however, you're wounded. So top of the round, Shihao, let's script.
So do I need to put cast spell in the first one?
Yeah.
That hardly seems fair. If he strikes, he goes first.
No.
I could zap him from a distance.
We resolve it at the same time.
So cast spell.
Yeah.
And
You
then I
you
put...
can't interrupt your spell with this strike. It will go off, and then he'll strike you if he hits.
It'll go off and he'll die horribly.
Yeah, that might happen.
Murder
Some of them use 2.
Yeah. I think it's the draw weapon. I think uses 2 actions, and the great strike.
Great strike.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I don't think so.
Okay, and we'll just this out then, I guess.
I seriously need more agility.
I'm
See you in
doing-
a couple of years once I've done trading my agility. Bye-bye.
I'm actually quite well off in agility.
Okay.
Yep.
But again, I do need to have manual fingers or dexterous fingers to do my spellcasting, so.
All right. First volley. Let's reveal.
Surprisingly, I cast a spell at him.
Yeah. All right. So roll your spell casting. I'll roll his attack.
Alright, and I fork in symbology.
Okay.
Modifiers 1. Base obstacle 4.
Wow.
Wrecked. Okay.
Grey
So-
Sorcerer in your face.
And he's fine. He strikes you with that. Okay. So here's what happens. He moves into your range. He lunges forward and he strikes you.
That seems unfair.
His spear clips you where? Where do you get hit?
In the right leg.
All right. So you get struck in the right leg as his spear hits you. The spell unloads on him. You get hit in the right leg for. He's gonna upgrade, I think. I think he has. Yeah, he has enough success to upgrade. Right. So he doesn't have the wound penalty. This guy. So it's obstacle 1. He has 3 successes. So 1 for. And then up. No, he doesn't actually. So he just strikes you. He can't upgrade. So you take a B3 wound.
I think that fills me out.
All right, so you're filled out on B3. That means you take a B4 instead and remove.
As in, that was my third B3 wound.
Yeah, so you take a B4 instead and then remove all the B3s.
Okay. I can't. Go away. Oh,
I
that's
can't
another
go
surprise.
away.
But that means I get a superficial wound.
All right, so you're now superficially wounded. That's good to know. You don't test steel for that. You need a light wound or more.
What I'm worried about is because, as I see it, I don't need to get in melee range with him to actually sap him.
That's correct.
But I'm worried that my spell now suddenly fails because we resolved his attack first.
No, not at all. Your spell is off, right? As he hits you, the lightning is careening through the air. There is nothing to worry about. Your spell goes off.
Alright. So
so-
I guess
Yeah, you hit him because you succeeded your sorcery test. You can roll me a d6 to roll me 1d6 plus 4.
8.
All right, so you hit him with a mark hit.
What does that mean?
That means this guy is irreparably, irredeemably toast.
That seems like a good idea.
More things than that happened, by the way, but we'll get to that. So, yeah. Let's see exactly how much damage you do to this guy, just so we can try and get the effects memorized as well as we're able.
Sure.
So, mark hits is 1.5, rounded down. Okay, so let's see about that. What is 9 times 1.5? Rounded down.
Let's see, 1.5 times
That would
3
be
is
13, right?
Yeah, if it's rounded down, yeah, 13.
Okay, so he takes a B13 wound.
Yow!
So yeah,
That's-
you stand there chanting. He's seen what happened. He's pretty scared of you. That's probably why he has stopped trying to hurt you and instead actually going in for the kill. He's fighting for his life right now. He
That seems like
stabs
a
you.
good-
He fails to do anything meaningful, and you just like see the hope leave his eyes as you release the spell. Your lightning bolt shoots into his person. He gets like immediately just pummeled down into the ground, and his body streaks across the plaza, just like tearing up dirt, and leaves like his corpse like has trailed a bloody smear across the hard-packed dirt, and he is so very irreparably dead.
Mortal wound is where you die, right?
Yeah, he's not even mortally wounded. He's beyond his mortal wound. He's just struck dead instantly. The other guy fainted and is now bleeding out. This guy is dead.
I'm trying to understand this because I have mortal wound on B11 and then the rest is called BR.
Yeah. So your mortal wound is B11 means that if you ever take a B11 hit, you are going to die. You are going to bleed out and die. Your organs are gonna fail. You're dead. You take a mortal wound hit, you're dead.
Okay.
But if you have a persona, you might survive by invoking the will to live clause, which means you spend a persona and then you might live.
Okay, so I'm 2 from actually being able to survive that.
Yeah, if your health was too higher, you might live if Shihao hit you with a superb hit like this. So yeah,
I have
the
a question.
Yeah.
Was there something about my magic being grey damage?
No,
No.
only if the will is gray.
Okay.
Yeah, if
Okay,
your will
cool.
was also grey, you will deal great damage, which means you could kill anyone just by flicking the tiniest spell at them.
Because
that's
you
a
need
good point.
gray health to survive it.
Yeah. So, that's
So
what
I
happens
roll a
to this
fate
guy.
die, I hope.
Yeah,
and
you roll
I
a fate
assume?
die. Roll me 1d6 and see if you
Yay,
can.
6!
It's a 6.
Okay, good. So the spell dissipates into his person. His body contorts, arced with lightning as this happens. But that's not the only thing that happens because this is a natural spell effect. You're invoking lightning.
Yeah.
So and you roll 4 over the object. This is what makes one of the things that makes this an up spell. So a natural spell, when you roll above, has extra effects that are beyond your
Oh.
control.
I did not know that. Cool.
So you strike him with lightning. His body, as I said, like just pummels into the ground and shoots across the plaza, dragging a bloody smear as it goes. The lightning that kind of like rolls around his body seems to find an anchor in nearby buildings and kind of opens up, shooting out jagged bolts of lightning, hitting buildings, lighting roofs on fire, and exploding doorways.
Oh god.
A couple of buildings here are now bristling with newly lit flame.
Oh god.
And
May I don't assume I can talk as a free action.
do it.
I think I look at the last guy and just say, if you survive, my brother, tell Dad I'm taking his card as allowance.
So that definitely that's doable. You could try to intimidate him in combat if you wanted to.
And that was mostly just a.
All
Because I
right, so
don't
you're
like
you're
that.
just being cocky. That's okay. That's
Of
fair.
course, I'm an
So-
arrogant prick.
That's the end of this round for you guys. He is very dead. So let's just get those out of the way. And Minnow, you're engaged with this person who has angered the bull.
Oh, I kind of want to imagine what Nikki's face looked like.
Yeah, I don't know,
So-
Nikki, what's your reaction to this? That's a good question. You saw Shihao fire a lightning bolt or something. It was pretty hectic. There were a lot of people around. They suddenly retreated shortly afterwards. But there was a lightning bolt going on. But this time, it's clear, it's uninterrupted. You see him basically shoot lightning and explode a person and light the buildings on fire. Is there a particular reaction to this? Like, is there a moment where Nikki is like, what did I invite into my organization? Are you just like, this is perfect, this is exactly what I wanted?
Yeah, there's a sense of his first reaction is a kind of, well, shit, sort of look on his face, and then a crooked smile is like, and kind of mutters to himself something to the effect of, why didn't you do that to start with?
Let's look at it this way. People realize that one of your people can make thing explode, and then suddenly half the city is ablaze. No one is ever going to mess with you again.
Basically.
The second Minnow realizes what happens, he's probably gonna slap his brother silly for setting the entire city on fire, but okay.
Oh, I should roll a fort, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you need to roll fort. Obstacle 4.
And I don't get any bonuses, as far as I remember.
That is correct.
Oh, he has 4.
Oh, and it's a wound obstacle this time. Okay, so I lose 2 fort temporarily?
Yeah.
And how do I mark that?
You either remember it or you write it somewhere on your character sheet.
I'll remember it.
Okay. So, whoa, hey AJ, you accidentally put a card in there.
Put a card in where?
You have a card in your hand.
Oh!
You can get rid of that.
Huh.
I don't actually know, but you can probably figure it out.
Uh,
Let's not worry about that right now. Let's finish the battle. So we are in the first volley. Flip your card. so you both like you dance around each other like two wolves, right, looking for openings, and you both think you're seeing the other one coming and just take a step back like, huh! And nothing meaningful happens. However, he spends the time, in addition to that, changing stance into defensive stance. Next volley, reveal cards.
And you both look embarrassed.
Alright, so you start to wind up for a great strike as he's trying to avoid.
He sees it coming, he's like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Yeah, so the same thing happens essentially, right? You raise your weapon and he tries to dodge out of the way, but you're just winding up and just pulling it around and bringing it about to strike him. And the next one, for your is of course a great strike, but yeah. So he's trying to avoid you as you great strike him. Roll a standard strike, but decide now before you roll, are you going to do more damage to him or are you going to try and pierce his armor? He's not wearing armor.
Yeah, I'm going to make him cry so hard.
Okay, more damage it is. I'm going to roll speed for this guy. So you can roll your strike in the meantime.
Good idea. I'm an aggressive? What does that do?
Plus 2 dice.
Okay. Speed 5, you little bastard.
Alright, so yeah, you make like a valiant effort, you bring it about, you make a very good swing, but he's in defensive stance, he's been paranoidly avoiding you this entire round, trying to get out of the way, and that bears fruit now as he sees your great strike coming and just pulls out of range.
Can I be a dick and try fate on it?
On your strike? Yeah, you could absolutely spend a fate to try and
I could be lucky and actually strike him anyway.
Yeah, you may, and as you do so, remember to add a fate point to your agility. Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah. One more. Come on. Damn it.
Oh, so close. Valiant effort.
It'd be cool that he's just no. Yes, slum.
That's really good. All right, so add a fate to your agility. All right, top of the round.
Wanted to make him cry.
Shihao, Minnow, Nikki. This guy appears to be just about ready to leg it post haste. Are you going to give chase or try to stop him or keep him engaged and kill him? What are you going to do?
Card.
Yep, keep him engaged.
Oh, I was going to go for the card.
Alright, so you
oh,
want to
wait.
go for the card.
No, I would like to change that because as soon as I approach the card, the animal's gonna panic.
Yeah. I mean, the animal presently, like, people have abandoned ship, and the strider, which was tied to like a pole somewhere, is now it's prancing furiously and throwing its head and rolling its eyes, because it is very afraid of the lightning that has been striking within 20 feet.
What? I don't get that. Why would it be afraid of that?
It's tied to a cart and tied to a pole, so it doesn't run away. It's fucked.
Was a joke.
It's just, oh.
So,
No, I think I would engage Minnow's opponent because I kind of want Minnow to take care of the animal.
Okay.
He seems like he would be better at that. And I did tell Mr. Smolak's assistant that I am, in fact, a sword. A tool made for killing.
It's true. Alright,
just
Minnow,
saw
do you
that.
want to keep engaging this guy?
He is going to pummel this guy to the ground. He's angry.
Okay, Shihao and Minnow, give me a speed test. None of
I'm
you...
going to use my spear, by the way.
Yeah, none of you take advantage on this one. Just give me a flat, actually a speed test with a no advantage, just a flat speed test. This guy has 1 die of advantage.
Stop running away, you little bitch!
All right, so he actually manages to disengage from you. So you move up Shihao, like spear at the ready, trying to get at him. Minnow, you're angry, but you're also wounded. So you step forward and like your leg buckles and it hurts like a fucker. You try and grit your teeth and go through it. This person, however, has no intention to wait for you to get yourselves together and actually engage him. So he just up and legs it. He bursts down the plaza and quickly like sucks in his belly and disappears between 2 buildings, and he's out of there.
Minnow just yells after him, "Come back, you little chicken shit!"
Okay. So at the end of this, like as the dust settles, we look around at a totally open gap between several like shoddy buildings down on Pike Market. There are bloodied corpses here and there. Some of them still like spasmically jerking their fingers. A house has had its door exploded. The shingles have been blown off a nearby roof, and it's now on fire. And there's a strider manically pulling at a rope that's tying it to a post. And other than that, there's no one. People have up and am sprayed in all seriousness and haste. So there we find you guys standing triumphantly and bloody.
Minnow
I
stops
look-
a second, he yells after the man, he realizes everyone has left. There's blood and gore everywhere. There's a roof on fire. Then he pointedly turns to Shihao and then just yells, "Why the hell did you have to set the roof on fire?"
Well, it was either that or get impaled. I prefer having the roof on fire.
So let's talk about your advancements for this fight. So you're all eligible to earn a check towards like a skill you used a lot in this fight, and I'm gonna leave it up to you essentially like what that is. As long as you rolled off an appropriate difficulty. So let's talk Shihao first. Like, what do you feel like you could earn a check towards in this fight?
Well, I could definitely say sorcery, but I kind of assume I couldn't get a difficult or challenging check for it.
Yeah, you didn't.
No, in that case, could I say will
Did you use will? You didn't.
for damage
No,
of my
you
sorcery?
didn't roll will.
Oh, that doesn't count then.
No.
Speed?
Yeah, you could take a test for speed.
A difficult or challenging?
Difficult.
I will mark a difficult speed test. Well,
Good
yeah,
on you.
I think that's fine. I need more speed.
Minnow.
Yeah.
You get to earn a test for this battle. What skill do you feel like you used and is fair that you need to advance?
All three.
I feel like you used your agility a lot, like you swung that staff around, you even hit someone with it.
Yeah, but I'm also trying to learn stuff.
Yeah, I will absolutely let you take a test towards learning staff if you want that. Take it.
How do you do that?
So in your character sheet, in your stats and
I
skills.
already have the stuff, but how much do I need to actually learn the shit?
So you presently you can see you have like a circle that says 7, and then you
Yeah.
have a lot of dots down on the bottom. Mark another dot, so you have 2 dots marked. Once you have 7 dots marked, you unlock staff.
Okay.
Well done.
Oh, should I mark something for the skills I'm trying to unlock?
No, you mark 1 test for the battle, right? So if you pick speed, then I will let you take speed because you rolled that a lot.
How about intimidate? Because that was before the battle, wasn't it?
You rolled intimidate before the battle, yeah, and we had you marked for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you marked will because the obstacle
Oh, that's
was so
true.
high.
It was so high.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
And
I'll let
Nikki,
you move on.
Avoiding, so things involving speed.
yeah, you could definitely take a speed test.
What does it mean?
Take a difficult speed test for sure.
Okay. Stop flirting with the cat.
All right.
I'm allowed to fucking flirt with the cat. If
No,
I
you're
want
fucking.
to
No, you're
flirt.
fucking not.
We stop here, right? The camera pulls out on you guys on an empty space. As we pull out further and further, we can kind of appreciate the scale of like this cluttered mass of buildings with one house lit on fire. And we pull out so far, we can actually see people legging it down the nearby roads, moving into buildings, ducking under covers, and generally just getting away from the horrible massacre that just took place. And as we do so, like we fade out, and that's the end of this episode. And we'll join you guys next time, where we find out like what you'll be up to now that you have a cart and a strider and the public eye.
I kind of want Jihao to at some point mention, oh yeah, Mr. Smolak, you might meet our dad at some point.
You could absolutely do that, right? That could be your final words in this regard. Is like, oh yeah. By the way, it appears our dad is near.
I imagine that while we kind of pull out and you see people have legged it out and everything is on fire, and Minnow just, why the hell did you set the roof on fire? And then rather than being impaled, we keep pulling out, and you can just hear Minnows as if they're still standing down there. Well, I have a feeling laying low is going to be very difficult now.
Good.
So let's talk beliefs, instinct. Let's talk fate. Let's get some Arthur. So
Yay! We want that.
most of the time this session was spent with us trying out the fight system.
This is true.
And it is not like it might not be it's not usually a regular event that that like everyone gets into a fight like this, because we usually only fight like this when there's a belief on the line, and that might be duels or other situations. But this might happen again, and we'll definitely get better at running it swifter as we learn what the things actually do.
That would be nice.
Until then, though, I think this was fun. I have always kind of had an appreciation for this combat system ever since I read it. I was like, this is really complicated, but it looks fun, and I feel like there was a lot to it when we played it.
I mean, I feel like it looked more complicated than it was.
Yeah. Once you get into it, it's not actually that difficult.
I agree. All right, let's get this out of here.
So, Fate and Persona.
Minnow, let's talk about your beliefs. Did you chase any of your beliefs, or did you resolve any of them?
I chased the first one.
Yeah, what's the first one?
Since I sort of prefer a roof over my head, I figure I should make the heist a huge success. This could also help with the standing in the group.
Yeah, you
We did
you're
chase down after a huge success and just a success by getting the cart and an extra strider.
yeah, I agree. You wanting to do well on this and getting like the equipment needed to make this a success is what drove you to this to this clash with your family. So absolutely take credit for that.
It's also my doing that we're here because, well, I suggested we should get another. We should get a card,
Yeah, absolutely
maybe another strider.
take a fate point for this. That is, I completely agree. Did you chase or resolve any of the other beliefs?
Give me a second.
All right.
Noting stuff down. I spend a fate and I get a fate. So now I has 2 fate.
Yeah.
Again. Status.
Rasmus and Chris, this is not exclusively my purview. I am the final authority, but by all means, if you guys think that she's eligible for fate or persona for something she did during play that connects to her beliefs, mention it.
Well, she definitely. I mean, it's an instinct, isn't it, to join me when I'm in trouble?
It is. It didn't change the story in any unforeseen. Like it didn't push the story in a new
No,
direction.
it kind of just synergized with the one, what the other reason she was doing it.
It did, but here's the thing. It definitely got you in trouble. It put you in a difficult / awkward situation. You immediately stepped up to help your brother, and as a result, found yourself crossing weapons with and killing your tribe mates. So
They're not my tribe mates anymore. We kind of left them, didn't we?
yeah, but apparently they still hold you to be their tribe mates, and this is definitely an awkward situation. So take fate for your instinct to step up to and be with Shihao.
They can just stop attacking. I mean,
Well, they did.
Just done what
One
I
of
did.
them stopped attacking and ran, and you didn't want to let him.
that's because he made me angry. He could just stop making me angry. If he didn't make me angry, he wouldn't be in this.
Any other instincts you think you are eligible for fate for fate for?
No, if surprise draw a weapon, that kind of synergized with getting into trouble.
Yeah. I don't think any of your
There was
traits,
nothing attractive to flirt with, so
yeah,
I didn't stop mid-fight and flirt.
That's true. I don't think any of your traits changed the story in an unforeseen way or made the life difficult for you.
Spooky?
But nah.
It?
I don't think so. Not in a way that we saw expressed anyway.
No.
So yeah, so that's it. Take the 2 fate points definitely. And let's go to Nicholas. Let's talk about your beliefs. Did you feel like you chased or resolved any of your beliefs?
I think I chased my first belief quite directly.
What's the first belief?
About my organisation running supplies, I will restore the gang. For money, I will take the shipment of lead and cloth. We
Absolutely.
made the first step towards achieving that.
Hell yeah, take a fate for that. Any
Okay.
of the other beliefs come into play?
Not really, unless you'd count this as also building up capital to go towards the second belief of introducing fairy dust to Rarum. But then,
Yeah, absolutely. Take a fate for that.
okay. And the third one, no, I haven't actually done anything towards the third belief. In terms of instincts, I carried a sharp knife. I didn't have an opportunity to not offer mercy to an enemy, although if I had an opportunity, I would have taken it. And I haven't had a chance to show that everyone's out to get me, so I didn't trust anyone. Unfortunately, that didn't really come into play at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I carried a sharp knife. That's about the extent of it.
Did any of your traits change the story or put you in a difficult spot?
Let's have a look. No. No, none of them.
All right. Well, then that's it for you for this time. Let's talk about Shihao.
Oh, I had a comment to Nicholas.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I don't know if it's relevant here, but his never show mercy to an enemy. He kind of went against that when he backed off out of a fight.
Yeah, that's not about not showing mercy. That's about facing the enemy honorably.
Yeah, I agree. Showing mercy is different from cowardice.
Fair enough. I just wanted to point it out.
Yeah.
But no, definitely. The point is, had he been in a situation where one of the guys was alive and disarmed by you, he would have then jumped straight back in and stabbed the bastard to death like a mad thing.
I'm very sorry, my guys that ran off. I mean, seriously, he's such a coward.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we can go tell Daddy.
Before we do anything else, AJ?
Yeah.
Minnow, can Minnow advance steel with a routine test?
Was that really a routine test?
Yeah, it was. You don't have any. Okay, so yeah, no, you can't. You need difficult and challenging test. Okay.
How do you get difficult and challenging tests
To steal?
when there's only routine tests in Steel?
Oh no. There are significantly horrifying things in the world. It's just the nature of the game you're playing, which is like locked in a very like gangster-esque, like Gangs of New York feeling, playing around in the mud here and doing gangster stuff. You're not liable to come across like the big horrible abominations that would otherwise test your steel, but it might still happen. Circumstances can conspire so that you're like, oh no, your arch enemy is here and you just lost your hand and your friends are dying. That adds difficulty to the steel test, and then you're like, oh my god, no.
And you're giving birth.
Yeah, and you're giving birth all at the same time. And then suddenly the steel is horrifyingly hard, and then you earn a challenging test. So
That is good.
It
But
could
his Steel isn't actually that bad either. It's 6. I mean,
your steel is pretty high.
Yeah.
Shihao, let's talk about your beliefs.
'Tis I.
to you.
Well, I definitely think I chased the belief of causing fear and panic in the city.
Absolutely. Take a fate for that one. I don't know. I feel like you don't consider that fate, belief resolved just yet, but you definitely took a well noticeably first step on that road.
Yeah, it's not resolved until everyone knows me, like being, oh god, it's that guy. Ah!
Sure.
I mean, I also took measures towards making sure we're a success when acquiring the cloth.
Yep.
Nicholas wants.
Take a fate for that.
Yep. Fate. What is it that can earn your deeds?
Deeds
Something
is like I'll read deeds aloud for you after this.
I didn't seek any knowledge of old.
Okay.
I did, in a roundabout way, check if I was dreaming earlier when I checked Nicholas's hand.
You did. That didn't get you into trouble. If Nicholas
No.
had been offended by that or like slapped you or something, then it could have gotten you into trouble.
I don't remember, did the Nomad threaten me? Because I definitely tried to intimidate him, but I don't remember if it was a response to a threat.
I feel like there was threats going on there. It was implicit if it was nothing else, right? He was coming on to you and being like, yeah, what's up, little kid?
In that case, I kind of think my trying to intimidate him caused the whole battle.
It did. So by all means, take a fate for that. Take a fate for for adhering to your instinct and it getting you into trouble.
I don't think I asked Minomir for any advice.
You did not.
Not this time, no. And it didn't get you into trouble.
Any of your traits change the story in an unforeseen way or make life difficult for you?
I have a roundabout way I could argue it made life difficult for me.
Argue away. I'm listening.
Because my aura of fear kind of got me in trouble because I'm used to relying on it to keep opponents away, and it didn't, so I got stabbed.
Aha. Yeah, that's too roundabout. But I like that you're trying. I like that you're working with me here. So I won't give you fate for that one because it is not the fact that it failed to... If it had worked and that had somehow got you in trouble, then you would have gotten it. But the fact that it failed to work and you then got stabbed doesn't matter.
Alright, who's rummaging through my character sheet?
I don't know. Probably your brother.
AJ, stop.
No! I will not.
I don't think there's anything else. I foresee that my very lovely relationship with Daddy is going to cause some problem, but I don't think I can earn anything from that.
Yeah, it might actually be even worse now, right? Because it used to be you were just on really bad terms, and now you've killed some members of your family.
Well, they didn't do as I told them to.
Yeah, that's
They
Quite
Right.
specifically said, move or get destroyed. And look
it's
what happened.
very true. It's very true. Let's see how that gets remembered.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk
Miss is
Persona.
just like, I didn't try to kill him. I was just trying to pummel him. Why?
feel
He
like,
attacked me.
I feel like anyone at the table is eligible for the embodiment award, like really capturing the mood perfectly and just like really good and distinctive role playing tonight.
I kind of like our dear esteemed Smolak going, I'm gonna fuck no, I'm leaving.
I like that too. I mean, I enjoyed that, but I don't feel like it's eligible for like exceptional role play.
I think perhaps this was a bit too much combat for anyone.
A lot of
except-
time was put into the fight. I agree. Yeah, there's none of the other things going on. So, yeah, this is it for your Arthur gain this time. But that was also a decent amount of fate for all of you.
Yeah,
So
it was.
good job, and you won. So congratulations. You are
That
not
too.
getting bruised and dragged in front of a horrible tribal chieftain. Instead, you have other problems. But at least you have a card and a strider and a place to be.
I mean, I'm pretty sure as long as you just remember to bring me, we'll always win. Because I'm awesome.
Sorcerers are scary. Very scary.
They're also seemingly at a rather big disadvantage in direct combat.
Yep.
Well, that's up for debate, but there are disadvantages to be considered for everyone.
It certainly seems more like if you get a spell off, you win, but getting it off can be rather difficult.
Yeah, especially during a fight, right?
Yeah, so actually trying to get the spell off can be difficult. That's very true. It's essentially it boils down to what spell are you casting and like from where? How well positioned are you in compared to your enemy? Because
So
if
for
you are
future
going
references,
like all
stand
out,
numbers.
if you're being like a howitzer and just firing lightning, then yeah, things can happen and the lightning can rebound and things can go horribly wrong. But there are other combat spells too, right? There are like Hand of the Emperor and Flame Fan and stuff like that that has other effects but doesn't necessarily deal like a bajillion damage with 4 armor piercing.
Well, I mean, my other damaging spell is Storm of Lightning, and using that in melee range, kind of a bad idea.
Yeah, you're all gonna die if you fire that thing in melee. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so but yeah, you're
Rainstorm.
what
I
you
have
say, AJ?
Rainstorm and I have Witch's Plate and then Blessed Hands.
All of them good spells.
Yeah.
All right, I believe before we end for tonight, I owe you a quick read of what earns you deeds, and I feel like I might as well do it on the recording because then our esteemed audience can follow along. So
I
this
mean,
is
for
what
my
the
sake,
book.
you don't have to read it, but you could tell me.
I mean, I feel like I could use to get it. I could do with having it brushed up as well. So I'm just gonna read a couple of lines here.
enough.
Deeds Arthur points are rare and reserved solely for accomplishing goals larger than the character's personal agenda. To qualify for this reward, you must do something that benefits more than just the character and do it for reasons other than personal gain. Such an accomplishment must come with a cost or a sacrifice. It's got to hurt a little to attain this level. Exacting revenge on your enemies through a brilliant plan is great, but it's only worth a persona point. Hitching yourself to a course that transforms the setting, but doesn't directly benefit you or your friends, is worth a deeds point. Also, helping another character accomplish goals that are anathema to your goals, instincts, and beliefs can earn a deed point.
So what you're saying is that Jihadi, being the arrogant prick he is, will never earn a deed point.
You say that, but the whole point of Burning Wheel and being belief-driven and instinct-driven is that you have your beliefs challenged and that will change your character, right? It's about characters changing, adapting, and fighting for what they believe. So you say Shihao being an arrogant prick will never earn one, but Shihao being an arrogant prick might be challenged and changed.
That's true.
He could be faced with either getting something he sort of wants or saving his brother from death.
Ah, that is actually going to be a tough choice. He would lean
Exactly.
towards I mean, he would definitely lean towards getting the thing he wants, but I think Minome is probably one of the only few things he would actually pause to consider.
These things are always worth considering. However, that's it for Deeds, and that's it for Arthur, and that's it for this session. Thank you so very much for joining me for this session again, guys. I am having so much fun every time we open this hilarious box of joy. And thank you, viewing audience, for watching and listening to us playing Burning Wheel. Rasmus, you had something to say?
I did?
Yeah, I feel like I kept talking and I heard you like warm up to say something.
Well, I mean, I giggled.
Oh, okay.
That could be it.
That's probably
I have
right.
a question, but that can wait.
All right, then we'll see about your question after we end the recording. So again, thank you very much for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the video, and leave a dislike if you don't. And we'll catch you next time for more Burning Wheel. Bye.
Bye.